Welcome to Speed Painting Artillery. I'll be painting up the thunderous guns of the Napoleonic Russians. I'll be painting 3 batteries or 6 stands of guns. It will be a mix of 6-pounders and 20-pounder unicorns. I start out with black primer on all the models. With an airbrush, I make sure that this gets into every little corner of the models, above and below, everywhere around. I will be zenithal highlighting these models, so I switch to white primer and I lay a light dusting on all the models. In areas that I want a little bit lighter, I apply a little bit more white primer. For the carriage of the guns, I use this paint by Green Stuff World. This is Forest Green, which I mix 60% paint and 40% flow improver. This paint is fairly runny, which is the reason why I use a slightly higher ratio of paint. I use an airbrush and I paint it on all the carriage areas of the gun. If I had oversprayed or missed anything, I cover it up with a little bit of brushwork. This is a broad brush that I use on areas that I'd missed. And I apply matte white to areas that I'd oversprayed, like for instance the gun crew. For the uniforms of the gun crew, I use Orc Skin, which is an army painter's speed paint. I also use a brush with a sharp tip. This paint flows very easily into the uniforms, which is the reason why I favor it. It makes painting these figures much faster. I use Gravelord Gray speed paint for the bedrolls. Grim Black speed paint goes on the Kaiwers or the Shakos, which are the caps of the crew. It also goes on the shoes. And on the various bags and pouches. Crusader Skin speed paint goes on the faces and hands. I switched to Holy White speed paint and this goes on the pants. Be sure that the pants are all corrected for any overspray before you do this, or you will get a weird white and green color. You want it to appear as white as possible. I use hardened leather speed paint on the ramrod and on the botafu or match. I use leftover speed paint to paint the hair. I use hardened leather to make brown hair and grim black for black hair. Weapon bronze goes on the gun itself. This paint requires at least 2 coats. The first one will look pretty dingy and splotchy. So after you do the first one and it dries, you can apply a second or third coat. Next, I do detailing with gunmetal. This goes on various portions of the gun carriage as I'm showing you here. There are a lot of tiny areas, and if you're doing multiple models, this may be a little tedious. So take your time and try to hit all the spots that you need to. Phew, That took a while. Okay, now next to matte white. I use a slightly smaller brush and I clean up the cross belts on all the models. The tassels and the facings of all the artillerymen are in red. Pure red acrylic paint fits the bill. I use some red for the flame on the match as well. Greedy gold goes on the handles of the bayonets and the chin scales on their caps. I add a touch of lava orange to the flame. Onward to washes. I use strong tone and I apply this on the carriage and on the gun. I apply this to the sponge as well. Orc skin speed paint can make the uniforms appear really bright, so I do apply strong tone wash to them to make it look a little bit darker. For the gun crew's eyes, I put a little bit of matte white into the sockets of the eyes. If you're used to my videos by now, I always apply the pupils with a toothpick and a dab of matte black paint. The last finishing touch are just touching up the buttons in white. I use simple material basing on the bases, some Elmer's glue, spread with an old brush, and then applying basing material on it is all that I really do. If you want to add a little bit more basing but not add too much time, you can put some Elmer's glue on random areas of the base such as this. I then add some longer grass-like basing material such as this onto the base. This creates patches of taller grass. At this point, you should be all done. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this helps you paint up your gun batteries quicker. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon because I will be coming up with more Napoleonic based videos. Happy hobbying, wargaming, and I will see you the next time.